Okay. I'm joining Whiplash. Megan. Invite. Land. Hello, everybody. This is PaulE. I'm setting up here to do a live story with Whiplash Megan Mullins. Let's see if she joined. Who's coming live? Invited. Okay. Let's see. Are you there, Megan? Hello, Megan. Are you there? No. There.
Here I am.
There she is. Hello.
Hello.
Good to see you, Megan. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Polly. How you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Nine o'clock here in my neck of the woods.
I see. I see.
And I'm doing well, and I thank you so much for joining me today. For We Go to 11. This is the third episode with PaulE Players, and Whiplash Megan Mullins is
Oh, well,
our
thanks for
guest
having
today.
me. Thanks so
Yeah,
much for having me, Polly. I'm pumped.
good. Well, it's my pleasure, and it's my pleasure to have you, playing my Bonnie, which I can see
Oh,
over your shoulder
yeah.
there,
It's the
as a
magic.
part of your amazing kit. Um, Megan is a Los Angeles-based artist. She has three bands that she is playing in. Obviously, with lockdown, things have been a bit crazy with live playing and recording, but she's
Hmm.
been doing TikTok collaborations, which have been absolutely fabulous. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm sure you've enjoyed doing them, huh?
I have. Thank you. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah,
People
definitely
from
helping. Hmm?
Go on.
Oh, it definitely helps fill that void of no live shows. At least a little bit. It kind of feels sort of like being in a room jamming with people. I like it.
Mm. And I guess like each time someone will take your track and then play to it, it's almost like a new live experience.
It is. It is. It's cool.
Crazy times we living in here, you know. Who'd have thought a year ago when this all started that we'd be
I
you know,
know.
but here we are, and here we go. We'll start with our 11 questions.
Yeah, awesome.
First off, your childhood, and yeah,
Yeah.
11. Your childhood and your upbringing. I'm sure you had a lovely upbringing. Your family sounds wonderful. But what can you tell me about your upbringing and where you grew up and
Yeah.
such?
Yeah, so I grew up in a small town in southeast Texas. Actually, it's almost in Louisiana. That's like how southeast it is. It's called Buna, like tuna with a B. Yeah, the closest like big town nearby is Beaumont, if anybody's familiar with that, but it's actually a couple hours from Houston. So that's where I grew up, small town living. My parents were super supportive of me doing music. Actually, I'm the youngest of four, and we all pursued something in the arts, which is kind of unusual. Like my dad did play a little bit of music. He played a little bit of guitar in his younger days, but not for super long. My mom was always super artistic in decorating and crafts and painting and she made clothes and all that kind of stuff. So the artistry was kind of in there, just maybe not as obvious. But then my brother went on to study music in college. Both of my sisters studied dance, and I did theater actually. And but it brought me to music because I love drums, and so yeah, I had a good upbringing, and I don't know. I think that small town living. Now I live in a big city, but I feel like some of that small town, big heart thing is still kind of part of who I am. So I'm grateful for that experience.
Ah, lovely. My in-laws live in Tyler, Texas.
Oh, I know where that is. Yeah,
I
totally.
was just gonna say it's sort of east of Houston as
Yeah,
well, but they're sort
yeah,
of Houstonians, if that's what you would call
yeah,
a Houstonite.
yeah.
So, and then of course, you ended up in Austin as well.
I
So that's
did.
like from the
Yeah,
one side of is literally, if people don't know, it's like take a coin. If one side is heads, that would be the east side of Texas, and if the other
yeah.
side is tails, that would be Austin.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so yeah, it's like Austin. Oh, it's about 5 hours from where I grew up, and it's a much more liberal city. Where I grew up was way more conservative and stuff. But Austin, they're like the live music capital of the world, so it was super appealing to go live there. I mean, you could literally play a gig every single night of the week if you wanted to, because there's just that many live venues, and it's a great city for that. So I do love Austin. I miss it.
Well, I have several friends that live in Austin and the surrounding areas, and
Yeah.
they love it as well, and they're not looking to go anywhere.
Yeah.
My friend Vance owns Jackrabbit Studios.
Cool.
So, Trinidad. I don't know if Trinidad's out there, but Trinidad Leal from Dixie Witch, and now his new band is the Dirty River Boys.
Cool.
Yeah, he's he's an Austonian too. So,
Nice. Yeah, it's such a good city too.
mm. So before you got to Austin, what influenced you musically in your days? Was there a person or a band or just a lucky break?
Man, I think it's kind of a melting pot of a few different things. The first thing that really, I guess, brought me to like drums, actually, one of my sisters, her boyfriend had a drum set, and at the time, I think he was moving or something, and he needed a place to put it. And so he asked my parents if it would be okay to put it at our house. And I was just about to get into high school. And of course, if that's going to be at my house, I'm going to play it. And so he kind of showed me like how to set it up and a couple little things. And oh man, it was just opening Pandora's box. I just completely fell in love, and the possibilities were endless. And from there, when I got into high school, I joined the drum line. And so I'm a band nerd, and I had to do the marching and all that stuff. I notoriously passed out every summer band because it's hot in Texas, and I guess maybe I was
Yeah.
wimpy. Yeah. And so I'd pass out every summer. And so I was so embarrassed, but I pushed through it, and oh man, I loved it. It was super fun. I joined a couple bands in high school, and just kind of started to get the feel for it. But I guess my big musical influence was probably a mixture of Led Zeppelin. I mean, I love John Bonham. I think, every drummer, could say that. I'm a broken record in that way, but, seeing his bombacity on drums, he was just like a warrior behind it. And so that was super alluring. And then I got to see Dave Grohl on like MTV, so seeing how he played and just like, oh man, what a beast, those kind of things were, very alluring to me. Honestly, I even was a fan of Tommy Lee. I loved the way that he played so flashy with all the drumstick stuff and all that kind of stuff.
And
Really, yeah, it really like pulled me in. I really dug that theatrical aspect as well as the musicianship. So I don't know
yeah,
if I answered everything, but yeah, that's kind of what.
no, that's great. I was gonna say, but I mean, Tommy Lee is like if there's ever a man I want to see it in a speedo and with makeup on, it's Tommy
Yeah,
Lee behind
it's
a
Tommy
kit.
Lee, right?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I've got respect for Motley Crue and Tommy, of course.
Yeah,
Tommy Lee was a drum corps nerd. Is how
yeah.
he could spin all this the sticks and all that kind of stuff. And I remember seeing them. Oh, geez, I can't remember the tour. It was, I'm old and I've done a lot of things, but he was strapped in. He basically
Oh,
strapped in, and his kit elevated, and it spun.
Whoa, wicked. That's so cool.
And he was, he's literally playing the drums, and it had on the screen, it showed the video as he had a head cam on, and
Hmm.
totally crazy stuff. So, yeah, the 80s, those
Yeah.
guys, they lived hard, man. To think that the four of them are still alive is,
I know, man. They pushed it to the limit. Oh, wow. Did you read the
and
book The Dirt?
yeah, I was going to say, yeah, with the
Yeah.
Dirt, because really the LA music scene at the time was really needing something,
Hmm.
and that Motley Crue glam metal thing came in, and I remember people would say, well, then Guns N' Roses, knocked glam metal out of the thing, and I was like, I don't know, they had like
Yeah.
three more albums after that,
Yeah,
I think
right?
Guns N' Roses
Totally.
were finished before, I mean, Dr. Feelgood was a
Hmm.
absolutely blazing album,
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing when
They
you get
were,
straight, you can do some great stuff.
yeah, they really kept the strip alive, I think, for a long time.
Definitely. LA,
Yeah.
born and raised, right?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So you said you were in bands. What was your first
Yeah.
gig that you were in?
Oh, okay. So my first gig, I was in a band that was kind of like a alternative rock. We sort of just played what was on the radio, that kind of thing. But the first gig we played, my other sister, not the drum set sister, but my other sister was a teacher at a school near Houston, and they had a dance. I think it was a Valentine's Day dance, and they hired my band. So it was my first paid gig. We played at a Valentine's Day dance, and it was so fun. It was really cool. We probably could only play like 6 or 7 songs. I don't remember. And so we had a DJ play, and then we'd do like a short set, and then they'd play. It was fun.
Did you do any tunes twice?
You know, I don't know if we did. We may have. We totally probably did, but I can't remember. We played
My,
like
my,
we played My Hero by the Foo Fighters. That was one of the first covers we learned, and Wish You Were Here by Incubus, because I think that was a big song at the time. And I don't know, I can't remember what else. Probably some Nirvana and stuff. Yeah.
say my first band was a Doors cover band, and I
Whoa.
sung, and we did Riders on the Storm at the beginning and at the end because it could sort of stretch out the other four.
Yeah.
Hello, I love you is, like all these little itty bitty songs. It's like we'll
Yeah.
start with that and then we'll end with that, and that'll give us 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's a good plan. It is. Oh
Rock
man.
and roll.
Rock and roll, man. There's something extra special about that time, as a musician. I don't know, it's like lightning in a bottle or something. It's super invigorating. I love that time.
Great. Yeah, that spark is still alive. So,
Yeah.
um, still on the LA thing, you live in there, and the melting pot of music
Hmm.
is LA. So much different variety of music.
Yeah.
What brought you there, and what made you stay? Was it music or was it something else?
Well, it was kind of a mixture. So I lived in Austin at the time, and I'm married, and my husband and I had kind of planned at some point we wanted to move to LA. I was still kind of kicking around the idea of maybe getting into film work. I wasn't really sure, but I knew the music scene was great here, and so we just up and decided to go ahead and take the plunge and move here. And I guess, at the time, maybe we thought maybe it'd be like for 5 years, or maybe we kind of had an idea it wouldn't be forever. But now we've been here, I think, almost 9 years, and oh man, I don't see us leaving anytime soon, really. It feels like home.
There you go. You love LA. I
I
love LA
do.
as well.
Yeah,
I have lots of friends around there, from Echo Park to Santa Monica, Santa Barbara. It's such a, like LA, obviously you live there, it's like such a huge thing, and there's so many different influences and flavors of
yeah,
the city. And, I mean, America has some tough times, but to me, that kind of melting pot in LA as a New Yorker,
Yeah.
it was a little different kind of a melting pot. It was more European as opposed to an Asian and Hispanic.
Hmm.
I just always loved the different flavors of that city within
Yeah.
within the driving radius. So I can imagine why you'd stay.
Yeah,
Um,
it's just so nice to meet so many different types of people, and there's just so much to do. I mean, maybe not in the pandemic. I didn't really do anything, but regular life, there's so much to do, and it's a cool city.
well, South Africa, they banned alcohol for 5 months. So,
Oh, snap. I didn't realize that. Oh man.
oh goodness gracious, and cigarettes.
Really?
Um, yeah, we won't get into that. But back to LA, you've got three bands that you're in.
Yeah.
Obey the Wolves and
Hmm.
Jamestown Pagans are duos,
Hmm.
and High Priestess is a trio.
Yeah.
Now, what can you tell me about the bands? The
Yeah,
three,
so
how they mix.
so I guess so my bands, the first, I guess the oldest, I'll go oldest to youngest. So oldest would be Obey the Wolves. Ruben is my other bandmate in that band, and he's an incredible multi-instrumentalist, really, but he primarily in the band mostly plays guitar and an incredible vocalist. He's from originally from out here. He grew up in Whittier, California. And so we met back around, I think it was right around Halloween of 2014. And we both just kind of bonded on our love of horror movies and sci-fi and psychedelic music. And so Obey the Wolves was born. And it's kind of like a hard rock, grunge meets psych rock. So we have a big love for Rocky Erickson, both of us. So there's definitely that psychedelic rock and roll feel, but we also really love grunge 90s stuff. So that vibe is there. And we've kind of toyed with maybe having a bass player. We did have one play with us for a short while, and she was super badass. But I don't know. There's just something powerful about just the two of us on stage. It's very electric, I guess. So that's a cool project. And then after that, Jamestown Pagans is another duo, and that's with my buddy Christopher Hurt. We met probably in 2014, but the band started in 2015, and he plays Hammond organ, which is so dope. Oh man. So he's from Mississippi, so we kind of have that southern connection. We have some of the similar roots, but we're both big fans of like the Satanic Panic. We're both kind of obsessed with that wave of thought and why that happened. He was a religious studies major in college, so we've had lengthy conversations about how the mind works and why people believe what they do. And so for that project, the music, I would say its biggest influence is kind of like ghost stories and legend tripping, because we both love those, like Bloody Mary, that story. We have a
Yeah.
song about that. Yeah. And so we kind of dig that idea of the legend tripping, teenagers piling up in a pickup truck and driving out to somewhere in the middle of the woods, and potential that some witch is going to decapitate everybody, some urban legend. So our music is kind of based on some of those eerie, kind of creepy feelings, but also kind of the, pulling you in, come to the dark side kind of a vibe. So that's been a lot of fun. And we've released one album, but now we're working on the follow-up. So I don't know when it's going to come out yet, but we're working on it. And then the third project, the more recent one, is High Priestess. We originated in, I guess, the spring of 2016, and so that one, it's with Mariana, who she had posted an ad putting together a project with just bass and drums, and she was saying something about it being like doomy and maybe like stoner sludgy, that kind of vibe. And I immediately was like, yes, I want to do this. This sounds so cool. And so I responded, but at the same time, Katie, our guitarist, responded too. And she was like, hey, I know you're not looking for a guitarist, but this sounds like something I would love to be part of. And so that's what happened. The three of us got together and we had our first jam sesh, and in that jam sesh, a couple of the songs from the first album kind of were things we played with that first time. So it just clicked. It was crazy. Magic in
I,
a bottle, as they say. It was
I,
awesome.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, man, if you can have stuff happen like that, in that initial meeting,
Yeah.
like, yeah, the sparks are gonna fly. So good on
Yeah,
that.
it was just crazy.
I like to think of a Jamestown Wolves.
Yeah.
That might be a sick. I mean, imagine, because like I said, I really enjoyed both getting into both of those bands. Like I
Yeah.
said, it was Ruben, right?
Yeah.
Ruben reminded me a lot of Neil Young throughout,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
Neil,
yeah.
he's got that sound, and
Mm-hmm.
especially when he had his Les Paul, when he cracked out the Strat, then he
Yeah.
goes back maybe a bit Jimmy-ish, and
Yeah, he totally
no, it's
does.
really great. And of course, a Hammond organ. I mean, anyone that doesn't like a Hammond organ doing
Oh,
anything should just be
yeah,
shipped
get
off
out of here with that crap. Yeah,
to no
it's such a
music land.
magical instrument. I love it. It's so cool to play with. Oh man.
And so, having never ever played one, I remember my friends in the Withdrawals band. They had one, and they needed to sell it because they needed some other, needed something else different, and it was $800 at the time. And I was like, oh, and I'm thinking, how can I get him $800 for this Hammond
Yeah.
organ with the Leslie?
Oh, damn, what a
And
deal. Yeah.
yeah, it was seemed like it was just the price for the other thing, but of course, someone that actually could play beat me to it.
Oh,
Um,
damn. Yeah.
so instead of me making ghost sounds, someone actually used it as what it was.
That's funny. Oh man, yeah. Oh, that Leslie speaker, dude. Woo. Yeah, that's cool.
It makes it, doesn't it? Well, I
It
can't say
does.
it makes it because I noted John Lord from Deep Purple plugged
Hmm.
his Hammond through the Marshalls,
Yeah, that's
and it would
true.
get that instead of the whir, like,
Hmm.
oh. So, every way
Yeah.
is good in music, experimenting.
Yeah, true. So true.
And stuff. Well, and speaking of instruments, we're in your studio. What a fabulous
Yeah.
place. This is where the magic happens. I see Black Phillip there.
Yes,
They
yes.
also have Little Red. I think I see him someplace in the
Yeah, shall
back,
I take
something
you
in
on
the back.
a little mini tour? Let's do it. Let's
Yeah,
see.
take us
Let me
around
see if I
town.
can turn this around. All right. So here we have Black Phillip. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I named the whole kit Black Phillip, but really it's really all about this bass drum. It's a 16 by 26-inch bass drum. The kit's a Ludwig Classic Maple series because I love that maple sound. It's so versatile. So I just it actually came as a three-piece with just the kick, a rack tom, and a floor tom. But I just recently got some matching drums, so I can do a double floor tom setup now, which is so fun. Yes. And okay, so Little Red
Oh,
isn't set up right now. Here's Little Red. I have it up here because I don't have it in the main spot since I'm recording right now. But I also got this little mini set up here. This is like my little mini Black Phillip, a little 22-inch kick. Yeah. And then for a little bit, I kind of, I guess you could say I'm a drum addict because I do also have a 24-inch kick. This is I don't know if you can see the finish here. It's the
oh,
Black Oyster
lovely.
Pearl. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is Beatrix. I named her after Beatrix Kiddo from the movie Kill Bill. So that's my collection, my babies, if you would.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's lovely. Two
But
two fabulous kits from fabulous companies.
oh yeah, and of course it's only complete because check out that Bonnie right there.
Yay!
Yeah. super cool. Yeah.
Outstanding. Well, soon you'll have a new one that you'll be able to adjust the jingles on. So
Oh, sweet, sweet.
more more jingles, less jingles. New for 2021.
Nice. More jingles, more texture, man. I love being able to experiment with texture and trying out different things. It's been really cool.
Right. Yeah. I mean, watching you, the videos you've sent me using it, it's been really enjoyable for me too, because, depending which side you flip it on, I'm learning because, as a drum maker, you learn your most from
Yeah.
the drummers that are using your products and stuff. And I've learned a
Cool.
great deal this past month, or I should say 2 months, because you've been gracious enough to do it for 2 months.
Oh man, well
And
thanks for
so
having me. It's been a lot
well,
of fun. I enjoyed trying to think of like how can I think of a something fresh and new and different. It's just been such a fun challenge and creative journey. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Well, it's my pleasure. Now, live, getting back to playing live,
Live,
road life.
yes.
What's your favorite part of playing live and special, you
Oh,
say ritual or anything?
yeah. Okay. Well, I think, oh man, my favorite part about playing live is really just the way it feels in that moment. I feel like that's like the best connection I can get with people that feels most comfortable. I feel like really I am truly myself when I'm behind the drums. I feel like that's how I can best maybe express what I'm trying to say with words. I always feel like I say a lot of stuff and I'm a rambler. And so it doesn't always feel as good, but it feels good to play music. And I feel like I can connect with people in a more realistic, authentic way. It's just in that moment there you can't replicate that moment. You can go and play the same set the next night. You can play everything the exact same way, but you can never replicate the moment. It's a new moment. It's its own new fresh thing and I just feel like there's something magical and special. It's in a spiritual journey, you try to figure out how to be present and to really feel the here and now. I've struggled with focusing on things in the past or focusing on things in the future, but it's a struggle to be present right now. But in music, especially in live situations, there is no such thing as anything but the here and now. And such a beautiful, magical way to tap into that. I just really love it. I hope that didn't sound so cheesy, but I really do mean it.
No, no, that's great. And as the drummer, it's not like you have time, you can tweedle deedle like you're a guitar player, or here, I'm going to do something here because everyone's riding on you. And,
Yeah.
you did the look back, Megan. Yeah.
Yeah, what are you
So,
doing back there? Yeah. You got to stay
it,
present. You got to be there.
exactly. Now, how about a favorite gig? Is there a favorite gig or
Oh,
two, or?
oh man, it's hard to decide, but I think honestly, I think my favorite gig so far has been playing Desert Fest London at the Black Heart with High Priestess. And I know you're a fan of that place. And that's really true. That really I think, man, that's the first time I've ever played a show where the place was so packed. It was a one in, one out situation. So that blew my mind. We Mariana and I joke about how we thought the line to get into the building was the line for the bathroom, but it was really the line to get in to see us, which is unbelievable. That just, I still to this day can't even believe it. But the way that felt with a room packed like that and everybody kind of waiting with bated breath to see what do you have? What are you going to give us? What's going to really happen? And it felt, I don't know, they felt so receptive and eager and it just I don't know man it was magic. It felt so good and I got to play a really beautiful Ludwig kit for that too. That was super dope. They had I think all of the backline kits were Ludwig for that, so that was so fun. And I don't know, the room just felt good. I felt like I was just, as they say, like on cloud nine from the moment I walked out of the little green room. until I walked back. It was like I can't even really remember all of it now. It was so amazing, I guess. So that really is my favorite. Oh,
Memories too, the green room at the Blackheart, the little thing where there are all
that little
these
tiny
chairs stuck
room.
there.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, like the Desert Fest guys, I was at the first three or so, and they really do their work. They're local guys. Obviously, you
Hmm.
have a huge scene there with
Hmm.
people that are willing to come. The shows I've seen in the Blackheart, yeah, I mean, the sweat, the walls sweat that
Yeah.
place, and I'm so happy they've reached their funding goal because they were almost
Yeah.
going to get shut down. I did my Concert for Cures charity shows there. I did my
Hmm.
wife's 40th birthday
Cool.
uh,
Oh,
party
wow.
there. I threw it there
Yeah.
with Stub played, which is a band, a London band, one of our favorites. And
Cool.
yeah, the Desert Fest guys, like I really know how to run a thing, and the way that's evolved in the 10 years is, really a credit to the hard work that they do. And yeah, the line for the Black Heart is never for the toilet is never too long because the toilets, woo,
Yeah.
they're better than across the street at the Underworld.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know if you
Yeah.
got to see any other gigs, but the Underworld would have been connected as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
That desert.
man. Yeah, I don't know the people behind Desert Fest really, but honestly, every single person we met and talked to, people that were giving us our wristbands and helping us out with the merch, literally every single person was super nice and helpful and excited, and
And
nobody seemed like,
stoked.
oh, I'm so tired of being, no, none of that. Like everybody seemed super stoked and really cool people. So I really hope they have us back whenever it comes back. I really want to do it
Well,
again.
I'll definitely pitch you their way. Again, great guys, always run well.
Hmm.
Was hoping they would have been able to maybe get one, do it this year, but
Yeah,
again, it's a crazy time. Got
it
to be
is,
safe.
of course.
And London, of course, is a very big city, and like
Hmm.
LA. I mean, it's not like you're in a little pocket where you might be able to have gigs with small. There's a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah. It's been too risky, so you just adapt and wait.
Yeah, but again, and casting the circle further with the lockdown,
Yeah.
the TikTok that you guys have been doing. Well, I obviously just watch and love it. So I'll let you talk about how you collaborate and meet people and how that whole thing works.
Oh man, thanks. I was kind of late to the TikTok wave, I guess you could say. When I first saw it, I did think some of the videos were funny and stuff, but I thought, oh man, I don't really, maybe I'm too old to get on there. I don't know, learning a new social media, I'm not sure. But then I started to see people would share some of these duets that they were, seeing online. And I thought, dude, I would love to do that. I've always wanted to get into like creating some beats or loops or something for other people to use and write music on. And I thought maybe this is a kind of a low pressure way of throwing stuff out there. If you like it, use it. If you don't, that's cool. And so I just started about like 6 or 7 weeks ago. And I just put up some grooves and I'm thinking, I don't even know, is this good enough? Like, I don't know, but it's amazing. Like, yeah, maybe it's not even all that great. Maybe it is sloppy or something on my part, but all it needed was someone else to take it and elevate it and make something cool out of it. I mean, I've had people do a variety of genres off of my grooves. I've had people play accordion and make like a doom accordion duet. Like, what? It's so cool and creative, and it's way more supportive. If anybody's watching this and thinking, oh, I don't know, people are going to be mean. No, it's so much more supportive than like YouTube or even Instagram, even though I think Instagram has a good community of musicians. There's a lot of good support, but it's just, I don't know. It actually feels like I just fell into a group of like rad musicians from all over the world and we just want to jam together. It's been really cool and super helpful for my little heart that has no gigs right now. So it's felt it's really helped fill that dark void inside. My heart needed it. So I've felt very appreciative to it. So check it out if you're watching this and you're thinking maybe not. Just do it. Just try it. Why not? Just give it a shot.
Give it a go, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever find other people that have played something and then you do your drum to that, like a
I've done a
song that maybe a
couple.
guitarist played?
Yeah, I've done a couple. I want to do more. I've just been kind of busy with High Priestess. We're working on the new album, so I've been working on recording that and stuff. So I've mostly just been like throwing out my practice grooves. But I've tapped into it a little, and it's so much fun. And the way that the app is set up, it makes it pretty user friendly for making duets with people. It's really not too hard. It doesn't take an immense amount of time. So I want to do more of it for sure.
Cool. I'll be looking forward to it for sure too.
Yeah.
It's been very exciting. We have lockdown times that you need to sort of see what tickles your fancy. And I didn't know
Yeah.
if I was going to like it. Like I said, just sort of people's faces changing. But then this music
Yeah.
bit was just like, wow. And I could just imagine playing and like, okay, I want to play When the Levee Breaks. And you
Hmm.
go and you lay your tracks down, and then somebody's like, I want to play When the Levee Breaks, and their harmonic,
Yeah.
whatever. And that, man, that sounds, and it's really cool. Um, but hey, that's our 10 questions. So our
Yeah.
11th question is a TikTok question about Whiplash. Whiplash, Megan Mullins. How did it come about?
Well, I do get asked this question a lot. So I guess because, there's that movie Whiplash that's about a drummer, which by the way, I think it's a cool movie. J.K. Simmons is awesome in it. I love that actor. He's just super cool. And it's a cool film. I know some drummers don't really dig it, for like some of the specific things. But I think, like if you take a step back, and you look at it as a just seeing somebody trying to hone a craft, there's a lot of cool things to take away from it. But it has nothing to do with my name. So people, I say all that. It has nothing to do with the name Whiplash, but people tend to think that. Actually, the nickname Whiplash came from back whenever I was playing in Austin, like about a decade ago now. I headbang a lot when I play drums, especially like rock and roll stuff. So a lot of hair whipping all over the place. And people would ask me all the time, do you ever give yourself whiplash? Do you ever get whiplash? You must give yourself whiplash. And so a nickname was born. And so I became Whiplash, and it just kind of stuck from there. So many a bangovers I have given myself is what I like to say. I've woke up many, and I mean, I would say at least, I would say hundreds of times I've woke up sore a little bit, maybe not with actual whiplash, but a bangover for sure.
I love that, a bangover. I don't know how many bangovers I've had in my life, but probably more than hangovers.
Yeah, I think so. Right, right. But I think
Yeah.
that's a great thing. That's a rock and roll lifestyle.
Well, like with most things, like the Whiplash movie, you got to remember it's a movie. It's here.
Yeah,
It's not a documentary. This is here to entertain us in all different ways. You can't be so
yeah.
critical. It's like watching a sitcom and being like, well, it's like, well, don't watch
Totally, totally.
them. Well, Megan, thank you so much for being a guest on We Go to 11. You definitely go to 11,
Oh,
and you rock.
well,
Anything you'd like to departing shots?
well, I wanted to say thanks so much, PaulE, not only for today and doing the We Go to 11, thanks for the opportunity to, share a little bit about myself, but man, thank you so much for my Bonnie. I mean, it's super dope. It's got a great texture and vibe to it. It's versatile. I've used it in a variety of different types of grooves and things, and for that, like your attention to detail, the artistry behind the instrument. I see the work that you put into it. I get to look at it with my own eyes and touch it. I mean, it's beautiful. There's no splinters. I mean, it is a work of art, and I really admire what you put into it. But also outside of that, I just wanted to say thank you for being such a positive, inspiring individual in the music industry. I don't know, you've been a light in a dark world this last year, and I really am honored to know you now, and I wish you all the best. You're a great dude and a great artist as well. So thank you so much for, giving me a shot to play your instrument and trusting me to, to do something with it. And I don't know, that's really special. So thank you for all of that, PaulE. You're a good dude, man.
Right. Well, thank you. One of the reasons I'd come back with the Bonnie, I mean, it's been 10 years, almost that since I stopped, because I see what a ching rings are. They've just not evolved. They're these metal,
Hmm.
they're tin rings almost, and you put it on. I mean, look at your kit you got there. Do you want recycled bottle caps for a ching ring? I mean, I don't. Maybe if that someone does, that's great. But I really see one of the reasons why I'm coming back is that I think I have a niche in that market. Like I said,
Yeah.
it's handmade. I don't know any other wooden tambourines
Mm-mm.
on the hi-hat.
No,
So
me
that's why I'm
neither.
coming back. And I want to end the show with a dedication to our moms.
Yes. Oh man, hell yeah. I appreciate that so much. Hell yeah.
To moms.
To moms, y'all rock.
All right. Love you, Megan. You stay well, and we'll talk again soon.
Oh man, you too, PaulE. You have a rockin' day.
Aloha.
Rock on, y'all.
Bye bye.
Bye.